In the late 1960s, Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation, was engulfed in one of the continent's most devastating conflicts, the Biafran War, or Nigerian Civil War. The war, fought from 1967 to 1970, was born from deep-seated ethnic, political, and economic tensions that had plagued Nigeria since its independence from British colonial rule in 1960. This conflict would go on to claim the lives of over 1 million people, leaving scars that continue to affect Nigeria to this day. Nigeria was and remains a country of immense diversity. It is home to hundreds of ethnic groups, with the three largest being the Igbo in the southeast, the Yoruba in the southwest, and the Hausa Fulani in the north. After independence, the country was divided not just by geography, but by ethnic rivalry and competition for political power. In January 1966, a coup led by mostly Igbo military officers overthrew Nigeria's civilian government, further intensifying ethnic divisions. A counter-coup followed, led by northern officers, which ignited violence, particularly against the Igbo people living in the north. Thousands of Igbos were killed in brutal massacres, forcing many to flee back to their homeland in southeastern Nigeria. The seeds of conflict were sown, and calls for secession grew louder. On May 30th, 1967, Lieutenant Colonel Odumegwu Ojukwu, the military governor of Nigeria's eastern region, declared the region's independence as the Republic of Biafra. This bold move was a response to the massacres and the perceived marginalization of the Igbo people. Ojukwu believed Biafra had the resources, particularly oil, to sustain itself as an independent nation. However, Nigeria's military government, led by General Yakubu Gowon, rejected Biafra's secession. Determined to keep the country united, Nigeria launched a military offensive to crush the rebellion, marking the beginning of a brutal civil war. Although Biafran forces initially held their ground, the tide of the war quickly turned in favor of Nigeria. By 1968, Biafra was cut off from the rest of the country through a blockade imposed by the Nigerian military. This blockade crippled Biafra, cutting off food and essential supplies, leading to one of the most horrifying humanitarian crises in modern history. As the blockade continued, famine spread across Biafra. The world was shocked by images of starving children, their skeletal frames becoming symbols of the suffering. Over 1 million Biafrans, most of them civilians, perished from starvation and malnutrition. Humanitarian organizations like the Red Cross and Doctors Without Borders attempted to provide aid, but the scale of the crisis was immense. After nearly 3 years of intense fighting, and with Biafra on the brink of collapse, the war came to an end on January 15, 1970. Biafra surrendered, and the Nigerian government declared that there would be no victor, no vanquished, as General Gowon called for reconciliation and the rebuilding of Nigeria. However, the scars of the Biafran War run deep. Over 1 million lives were lost, and the ethnic tensions that fueled the conflict did not simply disappear with the war's end. The war left behind a legacy of distrust, displacement, and unresolved grievances that still affect Nigeria's political landscape today. For many, the Biafran War was not just a battle over territory, but a fight for identity, survival, and justice. It remains a defining chapter in Nigeria's history, a stark reminder of the costs of division and conflict, and the ongoing struggle for unity and diversity. The Biafran War was a tragedy of immense proportions, but it also serves as a lesson in the importance of unity, dialogue, and inclusion. As Nigeria continues to grow and navigate its complex history, the memory of Biafra remains a powerful reminder of what is at stake when the fabric of a nation is torn apart by division. Today, the call for peace, justice, and reconciliation echoes louder than ever, urging Nigerians and the world to learn from the past and build a future where conflicts like the Biafran War are not repeated.